And now number 13. Tanya, please. And Ella. Oh, that's good that we've put in that bit about include the findings from the Auckland bylaw, which was very good. I think this is brilliant. You only going to move it? Are you, mate?
Yeah.
Happy to.
Yanni's moving it and Jake's seconding it. Okay, so we're underway with
Just sent through some
questions.
Yeah, I was going to move as well because I wanted to add an addition that we, and I've sent it through to Megan, that we investigate distance and time limits to trolley usage. Overseas, you can't take them out of a car park. We might go within some malls or supermarkets might want that as an option, that it can't leave their property. And also if they're time limited and you want to walk all the way home with your trolley, you've got 3 hours, for instance, to bring it back. Because taking a trolley without taking it back is theft.
But it's not for us to do that. They're not our trolleys.
Oh, we'll just leave it then. 6,000 trolleys in the river's not.
Yeah,
but
they're working on a system with the Auckland thing. I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
They are actually the second most used
Tyler,
vehicles.
please. But
Kia ora. I'm noticing potentially quite a few Riccarton ones here, but I'm just wanting to see which ones. Do we have locations available for where they frequent?
We can try and get that. I don't know if that's available.
Okay. I sort of know where they are. I just wanted to double check if I'm missing something. No, that's cool. Thank you.
all right.
I appreciate this has probably been asked before, but like in the UK, you have to put a coin into, to get a trolley and all that sort of stuff, and it works really, really well. There's evidence to say that. So, to what extent have we probably don't have any power to be able to enforce that or any?
No, but my discussions with the retailers that I spoke to was pretty clear that they take it pretty seriously and they are looking for options such as that. So, trolley locks.
Because it does work.
There are options, but it all costs money. So I know that there are some organisations that are progressively rolling out trolley locks, which prevents people from being able to take them out of the premises. But there are different measures that they are looking at, and I would say they're pretty proactive on that. It's really about cost analysis and what's the best option for them.
It costs us money too, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, that's right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see a map of where these trolleys are used. I know that in the area that I represent, which is near a countdown, that there are trolleys kilometres from the supermarket. And my read of that is that lower socioeconomic people have, sometimes no vehicle and require to basically walk with the trolley to get their groceries home. So it would be actually really good if we could get some data on where that is, because the only data I see is countdown, and I know that's in the heart of the area that I represent, and I'm shocked by how far away the trolleys are, and I can only assume that these people are walking to and from the supermarket. So
We can see what we can do with that, whether that's able to be plotted.
Yeah.
I don't know if we would be able to get it down to the degree of which supermarket it came from as well, but we can.
Well, actually, most of the trolleys are actually branded.
Yes, they are.
And,
yeah.
I know these ones are from a countdown, not in my area. Cheers.
Can I move mine as an amendment because the mover doesn't want to include it in this substantive to do the investigation into those options. Others are raising options as well, but rather than just look at what Auckland do, we'll...
Christmas as well, yeah.
So,
I was happy for it to put in the second one. I mean, I just think what regulatory and non-regulatory options could be available, and then it leaves it open.
Okay, yeah. Then.
Okay, so the mover is happy to include it. Merry Christmas, Jake. Okay, Megan, the mover's happy to include the one I sent through to you.
okay. We'll just wait
Well, it was a
till
bit.
As a number 3. What?
Still-
No, because number 2's
It's
Auckland,
coming.
and that just says what they've done. It doesn't necessarily cover off time and distance.
So I would just suggest an amendment to number 2 that said what regulatory and non-regulatory options could be available to council to address the abandoned shopping trolleys. And you could just put in brackets time and distance if you wanted, but
the last thing I want to see is a bylaw on this.
that's why I'm putting non-regulatory, right? Yeah.
In A, so it's got what regulatory and non-regulatory.
Okay, hang on. Right, Tim, you had a question?
Yeah, thank you.
Tim's talking. Yep.
It's just a rule of bylaw. It's a bad.
Far away, Mr. Scandra.
I might just wait for them to stop.
We're all chirping again.
As the average shopping trolleys cost is around $350, and I know it was brought in or asked to be brought in a long time ago with regards to the amount of traffic cones that ended up in rivers and bushes, etc. And a friend of mine tried to get a business going to go around and collect them and then sell them back to the companies for obviously a lesser amount than they buy them new. Is there an opportunity for us to look at that within the city limits? So, I mean, with these numbers, if you're looking at, I mean, you're going to buy them in bulk, you might get a discount to $250 or even less. But if you've got 1,000 trolleys missing at $250, $350 each, I mean, that's a significant amount of money. So I'm just wondering, is there anything that this city, that we can do to encourage and actually get some income from it?
You want to be careful that you didn't have some enterprising young chap nicking them from the supermarket and
Honestly,
selling them.
they don't have to. There is, according to this, there is over 6,000 lying around. So, I mean, I don't think that's an issue.
So
Pauline.
some of the supermarkets actually employ somebody now to do that. Actually employ someone. Countdown as an example, where they, or Woolworths is now, where they proactively go within 5Ks of that area looking for it. So some of them already have that in place for themselves.
They're being proactive, which is
They're
great.
being very proactive.
Great. And
Yeah.
Pauline?
Look, I'm concerned that we're calling for a report.
Yeah.
I think A and B are reasonably simple. C could be quite a lot of work, and I'm wondering if you're resourced to do that work. And secondly, I think as part of that, surely we want a social impact statement as well.
Absolutely.
So, first of all, do you think you've got resource to complete that work? Is it a hefty piece of work?
I can take that. I mean, I think the short answer is yes, but what we have to understand is the context behind what Auckland did. Auckland were in a slightly different setting to us. That one of their biggest problems
I'm
was
talking about C.
yeah. Yeah, but what we're doing is we're jumping to the fact that the system as it currently stands is broken and needs intervention. So I think what we can give you in the report that we give you back is the context that Auckland did what they did and what the results of that have been. They've just got a bigger volume, and one of their biggest challenges was they had a lot more outlets and the trolleys weren't marked as to who owned them, so it made recovery even more difficult. So we don't tend to have those two problems here. So yes, we can do it. We can work with the private sector contacts we've got, and we can address things like the data requests, etc., that you've got. So I don't see that being, I mean, technically it's not necessarily a waste issue unless the trolley is full of waste, and they've got a contingency for that as well, and that they instruct their staff to take the waste that's in the trolley and put it on the site bin at the supermarket or whatever the site is. So yeah,
you're
the short
actually-
answer is we do have the resourcing to come back to you on what Auckland or other councils are doing.
Yeah.
As for us intervening, creating a system, I would suggest that's get you the first report back on what level of intervention or what others have done and why and how it's worked out. At the moment, what we're saying is we don't think there's any intervention required. We should just monitor what the private sector's doing.
So actually what you're saying is that let's do A and B first, and then we may look at C later on.
Yes, possibly, yeah, I would say so, yeah.
So would it be better to phrase it as request advice, including, and then we can potentially bring it in
Yes,
stages?
rather than a report.
So report, because it might be a series of reports rather than a single one. So
That's good.
request
That
advice,
softens it up.
I'm happy with that.
including.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone. Tim? No, he's good. Yanni?
Sorry, I was just wondering. So we've got the
the annual report for the 12 months, but do we have the trends? Like Snaps and Solve must have a lot of data over several years. Do we know what the trends are showing?
We haven't in here, but we can find out.
Okay.
If we can go back through it for you if you want to see.
I think that would be
differences.
useful.
What sort of period are you thinking?
Yeah, and I did support if we could get the geographic data as well. I think that would be really helpful. Thanks.
Tyler?
Kia ora. So just referencing, what's this part? 3.3, the graph that shows the incident type and the count. This is just calls and emails directly to council, not through the Snaps and Solve app. Is that correct?
3.3 is what's gone directly to the organisations. 3.4
Yeah.
is what's come through council. So the majority goes directly to them.
So, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to read it right. So that's a collation. The 6313 is a collation of both council and Snaps and
No, that's what's going directly to the stores.
So the
I
first,
see, okay.
Yeah.
the first table is Snap, Send, Solve reports,
Yeah.
and they've been closed out by the various companies. There could be other trolleys that the companies have collected above and beyond that, but these are the reported numbers that have been closed out through the app. And then the second set, as Tanya said, is the various forms of communication directly into council. And generally what we do there is recirculate that inquiry back to the supermarket. Occasionally one of our contractors might go and pick a trolley out a river or take it off a park or something like that. But generally the role for the call centre team is to give the customer the details or reroute the call through or make the report for them. So I guess one of the issues is that the data from Snap, Send, Solve, we're hearing you'd like to see more. What else can that system do so we can have that conversation with them? And also the usage of the app, how widely is that used by the public? How aware of the, because it's not just trolleys, it does a whole range of things that you can report issues to council. And it does capture the GIS location in a picture when you use it.
Thank you, Alec. That's great. And so really, you're all over it. You're going to monitor it. You're going to come back to us. So this is great. Thank you. I'll put that motion. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you. Debate? What do you mean debate?
So send orders and let her do it. Let her do it. Let her do it.
Would you like to have a bit of debate, well, even though we've...
Yeah, can I just say that's I just express a little bit of caution, just because we need to remember that 7% of households in Christchurch don't have access to a car, and if we start clamping down too hard on the supermarkets, they're going to stop people being able to get groceries home to their families. Yes, we do need to focus on making sure any trolleys are picked up again and returned really, really quickly. But let's make sure that we are looking after the most vulnerable in our city in a way that allows them to live good lives. Thanks.
Good point.
Yeah.
So now we're opened up for debate. Aaron?
Yeah, I actually just want to counter that slightly in the sense that these shopping trolleys are seen all over the city. The people that take them out are given them on the goodwill of the supermarkets. When 7,000 trolleys a year go missing at a value of $1.9 million, if they're not recovered, that goes into the grocery prices. It makes the cost of groceries dearer for the people that can't afford them. And so you end up punishing everyone through these outcomes.
This is Santa reminding you the city mission fundraising fair starts at 12 o'clock on the first floor. Gold coin entry with loads of lovely things to buy and the opportunity to meet me. See you there.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
Grab
Aaron.
it.
Good point. Thank you. Both good points.
I hadn't finished actually until I was interrupted by the Grinch. What Santa was
guys,
trying to
come
say is if anyone pops down to one of the local malls, grab a trolley, bring it back here, fill it up with goods for the city mission to make yourself feel better. But the trolley problem, people do complain about it quite a bit, but and I understand that if you don't have much money, because I've lived like that in the past myself, you take a trolley full of groceries home, but where did society go wrong that it's suddenly okay to just leave the trolley outside your neighbour's place and not take it back? Take the flipping thing back. Society has got richer, but it started making some poorer decisions, and that's around human behaviour. That's just a growth in laziness, and it's unacceptable that you take the trolley, someone's lent it to you, just take the flipping thing back. That's all you got to do. It's not a big deal. Take it back. You got time. Get another job.
Really interesting. We're going to change whole social nature. I mean, if people don't bring back your lawnmower, they're not going to bring back a shopping trolley. What is the big question here? If we're going to go and look after people that can't afford a car and are going to use a trolley for the essentials, then leave them. It's already obvious that they're not going to take it back, so why worry about it? Solve the problem, which is the trolleys lying around, so leave that to the supermarkets and require them to pick it up. It's really simple. Why go after and change behaviour that you will not change? And we will certainly not change it around this table. I just think we've wasted, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
No, we're just about to go and waste some more because there's 2 more questions.
Yeah,
two more.
I totally agree with.
To be
Totally
fair,
agree
look,
with Tim.
the guys are on it. We've voted. It's gone through. Let's get on with it. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Right. Rupert, you're up. Parks unit update. Waiting patiently there, you have been.
For Christmas, all